While camping in the desert around Quartzsite, I lamented the scarcity of wildlife to video. The climb to Picacho Peak did not prove very fruitful either, though in the campsite I was serenaded by the state bird of Arizona, the desert wren. Arriving in Tucson, I went to the Desert Museum hoping to film some desert wildlife. The museum has enclosures for some of the common desert mammals. The two endangered stately Mexican gray wolves were both resting. Last year there were only 186 of them living, all in Arizona and New Mexico. Additionally, there are 300 or so Mexican gray wolves in various zoos around the country. The mountain lion was also curled up asleep. However, I did find a public domain picture of this beautiful desert animal. Mountain lions are found throughout the mountains of Arizona. I spied a couple of sleeping javelinas. A little further, I found one up and around. I have always thought the mountain goat is a handsome animal. I just wish my camera had focused on him rather than on the plant in front. The bobcat was also asleep on my first pass by his enclosure. However, on the second pass, to my delight, he got up and turned around for the camera. There are a little over 60,000 bobcats living in Arizona. The entrance to the Sonoran Desert Tortoise exhibit was hard to miss. Because of COVID, I did not enter any of the indoor exhibits. However, my daughter some years earlier had adopted a Sonoran Desert Tortoise from the Arizona Game and Fish Department. Arizona laws not only permit but encourage one desert tortoise per family. They make great house pets. They make good climbers. And Laura's tortoise enjoyed the home she made for her in the backyard. I was fortunate to arrive in time for the raptor show. Raptors are birds of prey that feed mostly or entirely on meat they hunt. The first raptor for our viewing was the raven. The raven was the only bird I saw while camping at Quartzsite. But even then, I saw only one. Next to perform was the gray horned owl. It does not really have horns, just feathers that kind of look like horns. The Harris hawk was quite a performer. Last we were introduced to the Crescent Caracara, which is protected as a threatened species by the Federal Endangered Species Act. Let's listen in on a bit of what they said about this interesting raptor.
But coming in right now is a raptor that's not real common here. You probably have not ever seen one of these. You'll find them in the extreme southern Arizona, Florida, maybe Texas area as well. And this is the Crescent Caracara. Now that Crescent Caracara, of course, gets that name crested from that little black cap on the top of his head. And Caracara is a name that comes from the vocalization they make. They have a very unusual cackling-like sound. If you hear it in the wild, you'll never confuse it for anything else. It's quite unique. But these Crescent Caracara are sometimes called the Mexican eagle. They are very beautiful.
I found the Desert Museum well worth the time, and so did about 1,000 others on that beautiful sunny Saturday. Birders from all over flocked to southern Arizona during the winter. I joined the flow and drove to Patagonia Lake State Park for a bird walk. We saw a lot of different birds and waterfowl on the walk. My favorite was the vermilion flycatcher. We were on the lookout for, but did not see the rare elegant Trojan, seen nowhere else in the United States but here. The Park Visitors Center lists the uncommon birds seen in the park each year. The last sighting of the elegant Trojan was March 7th of last year, so perhaps I was a bit early. The lovely Patagonia State Park provides a great place for fishing and bird watching. I continued my search for desert wildlife by traveling from Patagonia to Wilcox, Arizona. Around 25,000 sandhill cranes spend the winter around Wilcox. I arrived in the afternoon. The cranes scatter for miles to feed in fields and orchards during the day. Once their bellies are full, they return each afternoon to Twin Lakes near the town golf course. At night, they huddle together in the water for protection from predators. They mate for life. When a mate dies, the remaining crane soon pairs up with another. While migrating, they fly between 25 to 35 miles an hour and cover between 200 to 300 miles a day. If they get a strong tailwind, they sometimes cover 500 miles. Early one morning, I saw wave after wave after wave of what must have been hundreds of thousands of sandhill cranes flying overhead. It was such a joy seeing so much wildlife crowded into one place. And I have to admit, having myself decided to spend the winter in the desert, I felt quite a kinship with these delightful birds. They also reminded me of the lovely saurus cranes we sometimes had as pets while growing up in India. In a few weeks, when they head north, I will do the same. But just like them, I believe I also will be back next year.